After I uploaded my video in which I discussed perimenopause and some of the things I'm going through as a result of being in that stage, I watched the video after posting it and I realized the mood I was in. And that's one of the things that happens. Your moods kind of just go up and down. And if you've never been a person who dealt with that before, you're really bound to have it when this hits. So I just wanted to mention to anyone who watched that video and had watched my previous videos and thought, what in the world is going on? What was going on is this. Name of my channel is Unleashing Alicia, and I'm unleashing myself. I'm being open. I'm being honest with the tips and the advice that I give. You know, these are honestly things that I feel like will help people along their path to having a much better life. And better is however you define it. And I feel like that being open means when you're not on your best behavior, when you feel like you're falling apart, when things aren't going your way, that it's okay to share some of that because we're all human. And in sharing that, I thought of a couple of tips, a couple of bits of advice that may help someone who is going through similar, or help people who in the future will be going through either perimenopause, periandropause, menopause, or andropause, to understand some of the changes that are happening with their bodies and to know that it's okay. You're not alone. You're not the first one to go through it. You won't be the last. And it's a tough transition. It's not easy. It's challenging. So I just wanted to embrace what was happening with my body, what's still happening with my body, and embrace every bit of it. The parts I don't like, the parts I like, and, you know, acknowledge that I'm not comfortable with what's happening. You know, I acknowledge that, that I hate it, but I have to go through it. The alternative is being in a grave, and I'm not ready for the grave yet. You know, God may have other plans. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, my hopes, thoughts, and dreams are to live a full, complete, and meaningful life for as long as I'm here, until I take my last breath. So I just wanted to mention that, since, you know, that was a little bit different tone of video for me on this channel. You know, I just want to be happy, doggone it. I want other people to be happy. I just want us to have good lives. I feel like we were created to not be down in the dumps every day, but to be lifted up. And that's my goal. My goal is to, at the end of the day, at the end of watching several of my videos, that someone is moved and uplifted to do something in his or her life to make it more enjoyable. So I just wanted to address that. I'm thinking about a couple of things. In driving from work, I was listening to J. Cole and listening to his song Love Yours. And basically he's saying in that song that no one has a life that's better than yours. Like, all of us have problems, all of us have struggles. And it made me think about my last video from just a day or two ago, Easter weekend, that, you know, love yours. So whatever condition you're in, whatever is going on with your life, love it anyway. And how you love it is you accept it, you own it as your truth, you embrace it. You don't have to pretend to enjoy it, but you can be like, you know what? In spite of the fact that X, Y, and Z is going on, I love myself. I love my higher power for making me, and I love myself. So, and then the other thing I got was this book. When I went to Barnes and Noble the other day, got a couple of books by Brian Tracy. I just started reading this one, and it was all I could do to put it down because I started reading it during lunch and had to put it down in order to get back to work. But it's called No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. And I think what I'm going to start doing is books like this that I'm reading, share my thoughts on them. And if you've read the book or want to read the book, share your thoughts. Maybe we can have like a kind of a mini book club situation. But that's what I'm reading right now. I can be a pretty fast reader, so I'll talk about it briefly right now, or my thoughts on what I've read, maybe in the first couple of pages, and then let you guys read it and tell me what you think. So one thing he said that I drew this conclusion, from like the first couple of pages, and he says it a little bit later, is that the difference between people who are where we want to be and us, meaning, people who aren't quite where they want to be in life, is that the people that are where we want to be do more, and they do it when they don't want to. So that's the main thing that I'm taking away from the first few pages. And this too is another thing. You have to have self-discipline, and self-discipline and self-confidence are linked. So if you aren't feeling very good about yourself, you're not going to have the discipline to do the things that you want and need to in order to get to where you would like to be. And it took me a while to figure out that part of why, and at some point I will tell my story, okay? Because I think it would be helpful. It won't be like a bragging rights thing, but it may come off as that because I've had some extraordinary moments in life. It shocks even me. But I think even with some of the advantages that I have had in life, I'm not where I would like to be in any facet of my life because I was lacking in self-discipline, and I was lacking in self-discipline because I didn't feel good about myself. I've only recently started to have good self-esteem, good self-confidence, I'd say in the last 5 years. Once I turned 40, I stopped caring what the world thought so much. And I started caring about what I thought and what I needed. And more importantly, what my higher power wants me to do. I started really honing in on that. Before that, I thought, well, this person won't like me. I'll disappoint that person. I just really kept thinking about other people and putting them before myself. And sadly, in some instances, scratch that. As far as my life purpose, I was putting them before God. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So the main thing I want to say is this. Be you, love yourself, and focus your energies on that. And learn to become disciplined. Learn to do things when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're sick. Learn to have some push and some inner drive. And I think one of the things that's going to help all of us learn that is to read this book. So that's all I wanted to say on that. I'm going to be sharing some images of what I do and the things that are my passions that drive me to be who I am. And once you make this commitment, don't turn back. We want to go forwards, not backwards. Don't turn back. Be committed to having a full, rich, and complete life. And the way that we do that is that we build our self-confidence and we become self-disciplined. If you want to know how to build self-confidence, I believe I did a video on that. But if not, I'm going to do a more extensive video in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. Okay? But you can definitely look at my BU video, or watch my BU video rather, and check that out. And you'll kind of understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So that's it on this end. Stay tuned for some images and narration. In watching my video back in which I do the introduction, I realized you guys could not see the cover of the book. I kept holding it up, but not holding it up high enough for my camera to capture it. So this is what the cover looks like. It's No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. 21 Ways to Achieve Lasting Happiness and Success. So far, the book is jam-packed with great tips, great information. I highly recommend it. I'm going to be reading it and then, reviewing it here on my channel in more detail. I just touched on maybe one or two things that he says, but I'm going to go into more detail. I think it's important that we read books. Occasionally you can read fiction and, romance novels, westerns, various genres under the fiction category. No offense to any of the great fiction writers of all time, but some of it is like junk food. Sometimes you need to nourish your soul and your spirit with something that's nonfiction and maybe under the self-help category, if that makes any sense. Sometimes you need to read books that build you up and give you practical tools for life. And I'm not saying you can't get that from fiction. You can. You can learn a lot from fictional characters and stories. You can learn what not to do in life, etc. However, I like reading nonfictions because it's a more direct way of telling you exactly what you need to know. So I just thought I would show this cover so that anyone who's never seen the cover would know what it looks like when you're trying to find it, order it, etc. You have it right there as far as what it looks like. So I get absolutely no kickbacks, financial anything, nothing like that. This is just a book I'm reading that I'm enjoying, and I'm just trying to share Mr. Tracy's knowledge with people who are interested. So now on to the images. Thought I'd share some of my art as a way to be open. I sing, I do collages, I put together jewelry in unusual ways, although I didn't create that. I drew myself a couple of years back. I write music, I paint, I take photography. I do a lot of different things creatively, and I believe I'm here to express myself creatively. I like drawing women, I think because I am one. I like doing my hair in different ways. All I did was braid it and take it down there. I just enjoy capturing little moments that are important in my life and what I like to do and who I am. I like sharing who I am with the world, and I think we all should. We can learn from each other. I love desertscapes, and I love the sky and clouds and sunsets. And I draw a lot of pink women for breast cancer awareness. That's my hair in its natural state right after a shower. And another desertscape. I actually miss cooking. I miss experimenting and being a chemist in the kitchen. And that's flowers against the sky. I love that. I love taking those types of photos and plant against the sky. I also like to knit and crochet blankets. And I like drawing nature, ladybugs and bees and so forth. And that's a shadow of me recording my mic. And I love the color orange. It just makes me so happy. And I enjoy reading. Reading just gives you all kinds of knowledge. And I love nail art. And I love manipulating my photographs. And I love fusion cooking, putting new things together and trying them. Love nature, love it, love it. Fear it, but love it. That was made for my god baby, a couple of years ago. Thanks for watching.